Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's inaugural webinar on Mastering Top Producer X. Today, we're going to go over a few of the benefits of the software, improvements, and things that you're going to really hopefully get a great deal of usage and insight into how it works. This presentation was created by my lovely co-host, Heather Crozier. And Heather, you want to say hi and introduce yourself?
Thanks, Glenn. Hi, everyone. So if you're new here today, you're going to get a lot of information on how to use your CRM Top Producer and maybe any other programs that you've purchased. If you are a returning viewer, you're going to see that we're kind of changing things up a little bit. We used to have a few different webinars, getting started for things you want to know after, switching from 8i to Top Producer X. And now we're just kind of putting it all into one for your benefit as well, to not have to come and join all these different webinars. We're also going to be here every other Wednesday. We'll have the recording available for you. And on top of that, if that's still not enough, we have other resources available. And we also offer a paid concierge onboarding package that you can meet with either myself, Glenn, and we have two other amazing onboarding reps that are here to help you. So if this isn't enough, we're always going to have ways to help you learn. So with that being said, let's jump in. We have a lot to cover. Hi, Candace. And we want everyone to, if you have questions, please let us know, because this is your chance. We're here to help you.
Yes, with that, as Candace has already clicked on the chat button, go ahead and chat with us. Heather and I are mostly friendly. She's friendlier than me, but hey,
Mostly.
Mostly, yes. We like to answer questions. We don't stick to a script. We like to make sure that this is interactive. If we're mentioning something that you think would be something you'd like to hear more about, please ask away, ask us questions. Between Heather and I think we normally have the answers to most things. If we don't know, we know where to find it. So let us know. We actually enjoy the interactive conversation back and forth.
Absolutely.
Now, there are times where certain items Heather and I may not be able to help you with. Now, that's just because we got to have our customer care team able to do something. I mean, they're there to help you. They want to help you. I love how she's got super friendly customer care team. They are a great team. We do our chat support from the start, and then if need be, we will give you a phone call afterwards. Now, super friendly, always human. We do not use robots. The robot uprising has not taken over yet. I'm still being very nice to all of my listening devices, I call them, because I don't want to be end up a battery when the robot uprising comes up. I want to work with them. But for now, we are keeping it human. So if you ever need support, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time, Monday to Friday, or because Heather is back east, I always say 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click on the little icon in the bottom right. It's going to look like a chat bubble from a comic book. You click on that, you start chatting with our team. Now, another place to find it is at support.topproducer.com, where we got this link on the screen. And I'm betting my associate Heather is already getting ready to put it in the chat so y'all can find it. Aren't you, Heather? You're
Got
awesome.
the links there ready for you.
He's awesome.
Also, as Glenn was saying too, and I'm with you guys, there's times where I'm not a big texter. My friends know me. If I try texting them or they text me, I'll pick up the phone and call them. So if you'd rather not chat, or maybe if you have a quick question and we can answer you right away, great. But if it's more complicated and you really need to talk to someone, please let us know in the chat. We will reach out and call you. We're not going to say chat only, but it's there for a quick interaction. And if we can't help you, let us know. That's why we're here.
And definitely give the chat team a chance. They are very highly qualified. They can get that taken care of. If it becomes too difficult, we'll give you a call. Also, if you do have something that is not time sensitive and it's just a question, go ahead and send us an email at support@topproducer.com. Those are usually answered within 24 hours, if not quicker. So it is a good way to get something if it's not time sensitive. But if it is time sensitive, let us know. We're here to help you. And So, shall we just dive in?
Absolutely, because we have so much to cover.
Yes, this is actually before we would have things stretched out and you would have to come to multiple sessions to see everything. We're hoping to get a little compact because there are some really key points to getting Top Producer set up. The first one is you want to go to crm.topproducer.com and log in with your provided username and password. Then once you're in there, there's exciting setup process. I love that. Exciting. Got to get everything all pumped up and ready, but there are possibilities and places to put a lot of information in so that you can get the best out of your system and get the best, I'm going to throw buzzwords here, the best return on your investment.
Absolutely. I actually had an agent say to me already that since she's come back to Top Producer, she's busier now because she has those automated emails going out, those drip campaigns, and people are starting to reach out to her again. So that's good. You want to be busy because that means more sales. So I do suggest if you haven't already signed in for the first time, you want to sign in, we're going to go over the settings. We're going to kind of go through them a little bit quickly just because we have so much to cover. However, if you have, and maybe you've all done this step already, but we are here that if you haven't done this step and or if maybe you got stuck on something, this is where we really want you to ask us in the chat here so we can make sure we cover this for you. And again, or you can come see us for our onboarding and we step you through everything and help you set up some fun stuff too.
Excellent. So there are some essentials, and I like that we do call them essentials. Certain items that when you set them up are going to really help specifically make your day a lot easier and more organized. You'll notice we have some screenshots here. You can have your email history within Top Producer. You could, I mean, you're going to integrate your email so that anything you send doesn't say it's coming from Top Producer. It's going to say it's coming from you. And we all know that you're getting those inquiries, although we call them, everybody in the industry calls them leads, but I think that term has gotten diluted over the years. It's an inquiry into what you do, what you sell, and what options you have. I prefer it that way because lead kind of nowadays sounds like somebody who's guaranteed to buy from you. Yeah, there's no guarantees in life except for the two things we all know are guarantees. So with that stuff, you want to make sure your information is set up because it goes out on your market snapshots and you want to have that up to date and importantly, you want to make sure it's your business info.
Awesome.
You guys are busy. You're on the road. You're doing a lot of stuff. You want to have your calendar synchronized so that the one you use on your mobile device most doesn't all of a sudden get missed and you miss an appointment. Your contacts, those are super important. You need to have them there. I mean, what's a database without a contact, right? Market snapshot, email integration, your email signature. I mean, all these things are critical to your business. They're critical to your day-to-day. We've made it so you can have it all in one place, one simple setup, in one organized, optimized place.
Absolutely. And if I could just add there too. So we will do like a little quick rundown of when you sign in, where to go to your settings. You always have two spots that you can go into your settings. And it's important too, if you haven't filled in this information yet, you want to make sure that you have your passwords ready. So, because you're going to be adding your email address, which is going to ask you for your passwords. And I know, trust me, I know how this is. We all have a list of crazy passwords that trying to remember everything is just not always feasible. So, although we can help you with your passwords, not for your email addresses, but we can step you where to go. So if we want to kind of maybe do a quick rundown of like where you're signed into, and I'm going to help get you to show us where they're going to go to sign in and go to their settings.
Absolutely. Now, remember, you wrote it. That's on the next, a couple of, like right here. We're going to show some CRM demos. I should have read that before because you're telling me to go and do this when it's right in front of my screen. And yes. Sorry.
This is what we like to do. And this is so, I just want to explain this as well here. So we're going to do demos on our webinars that we're going to offer every other Wednesday for you. When you do a one-on-one onboarding, that is a paid fee with us. But if you do that, then you get to share your screen. We can tell you where to click and help you fill everything out that needs to be filled out.
Yeah. So without further ado, let me click over to my much maligned Top Producer X. It has gone through a lot of stuff. As you can see, I've got stuff all over the place here.
A lot of
So,
ups and downs and a lot of testing. So
so
this is a CRM that's definitely been well, worked on.
oh yeah, this one's seen battles. It has stories to tell. Now, the most important things you're going to always want to know are where are your settings? So we've got two places, the bottom left or the top right. If you click on this little icon up here, which is either going to have your headshot or still look like a silhouette from here up that's just a head and shoulders, click on that and we want to go to your settings. It's immediately going to show you this, but we're going to concentrate on the things down the side here because this is where the important informational gathering and disseminating parts come from. Ooh, I'm using big words. Coffee's kick.
Yeah, I hear that.
Coffee's working
Also,
well.
I'll just add in here too. You know what? I would start from the top, working your way through the bottom. Definitely, there are some essentials. My information, whatever info you have in here, goes onto your market snapshot. So it's great for marketing. Make sure you don't put in your home address. Preferably, you might not want people showing up at your house. Add your office address. If you work from home, maybe just put in your city and don't put your street address. Again, it's completely up to you. I like how you have 90210. It's probably the only zip code I know off by heart as well. Again, any information in here, websites, email addresses, phone numbers, you want to have what you want your customers to see. If it's personal and you don't want it on there, don't put it on there. And big one, make sure that your time zone is correct, because any information you put in, tasks, appointments are going to go based on your time zone. So you don't want to be late or too early for that meeting. So make sure that that's all good to go. Save my info. And again, just work your way through the list on the left-hand side.
Yeah. One of the key ones that I want to point out is the agent email. You'll notice it's got a red asterisk beside it. This is very important because this is used for, let's say you forget your password. I mean, I know I have a book over on my desk here that is loaded with all my passwords because my memory is what I like to call a steel trap. What goes in never comes back out again. So I have a book there to get it. But if you need to recover, on the main login page, there is a button that says forgot password. You'll need to remember this email address that you've connected plus your username, and then we'll send you a reconnect link. Websites, and the other things that are always, it seems that it's probably needs to be explained a little bit better, but emails, when it says agent, this is your personal one, and company is a good one for in case you're unavailable, or like yesterday, unfortunately, I was not working because I didn't feel well, so there was no way for people to get a hold of me, and they would need to reach out to my team. Thankfully, we have a connected team email that it can go to. So you'd put something like that there. You'll notice in websites, we have the one for the two of us. We have this thing we call Heather Glencorp, which does not exist, unfortunately. So there's no real website. It's just there for demonstration. But because we do work for topproducer.com and we're part of the onboarding team, our company website is topproducer.com/onboarding. And as always, the Facebook, the Instagram, we really got to get Twitter rebranded to say X there, but considering we're TPX, we probably need to just put Twitter with an X beside it. This is where you put the links to all of your different social media business. That way, when people look at your market snapshot, they're going to be able to see a way to click on your social media.
It creates a quick link. Exactly.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have all that. Now, one of the best things, your company name. You want to put this here. You've created a company. You've got a company name there for a reason. You want to make sure people see it and remember it. So put your company name in there, like we've got here. Put your team name or your motto. And Heather and I were discussing 80s music a little while ago. So We Rock actually works well for the two of us right now.
It's still playing in the background, my 80s music, always.
Yeah, mine's just quiet right now. The license number, I like to say this is a really key thing to put in mainly because it differentiates you as a realtor and not just somebody who sells houses as a pastime. We all know that for a long time there was a lot of reality shows about how rich you can become being a realtor. And they always showed just the high end benefits of somebody who'd been in the industry for a long time. They never mentioned they'd been in the industry for a long time. So you saw a lot of people that came in thinking they're going to get in, get their license day one, day two, they're going to get a lead, day three, they've sold $1 million listing and they have a brand new BMW and live in the high life. They forget all the hard work that you folks do and put in. So let's differentiate you from those wannabes. Put your disclaimer in. This is a great place. We've got just We Are the Greatest here. This is a great place to put in your actual business disclaimer. One thing you can do, we did mention up here, putting in your address. If you want, like here, I've got a saying city, Blaine, state, province, Washington, because I'm right on the border of the US and Canada in British Columbia. When I come down here, I've actually changed it instead of saying Blaine to say Bellingham, Washington. I could even turn this into Surrey and go British Columbia. And that way all my marketing will show that. And then the branding, that's your colors. Whatever is the main color within your branding, highly, highly recommend you click on that. Choose the color that's most responsive for your specific branding, and that'll look great. And then as Heather said, click on Save My Info, and you'll notice it's all here ready to go. Your headshot and your corporate logo are there. One thing I do want to put out there is remember it is a 1 megabyte file size maximum. So you want to have just 1 megabyte file size so that it doesn't, because this is going out to a lot of people. You don't want to have a 24 gigabyte image there that's trying to be compressed and sent out to everybody. That will make every internet provider go, yeah, no. So then there are some things that we like to call well, in our team, we call them the must-haves. These are things that you really need to have your top producer work the best for you. The one thing, you want to integrate your email. You may ask, why is Glenn saying you want to integrate your email? Well, again, your email is part of your identity. It's who you are. It shows where everything's coming from. You'll notice I've got a gmail.com here. It's a free account. I created it just to bring it up for this specific webinar account that we have here. However, a lot of you may have a Gmail, an Outlook, or even an iCloud account that you use all the time, and it may actually be branded with your name. Not a problem. Your emails that you're sending from Top Producer, you're going to want to connect this. Like I have this gdtesttpx@gmail.com email attached. Any email I send out of Top Producer has that specific email attached to it and goes out of that email account. So you're not relying on a server that you don't know where it is doing your emails. Gmail, Microsoft, Apple, Yahoo. I mean, there's millions, well, not millions, there's a bunch of companies out there that do email and they do it well. We do CRMs. We do that pretty well as well, if I may say so myself. So why not use the experience and the knowledge and the technology of the people who do email best? You send it out from here. I create an email in Top Producer. It's created, everything's put onto it. It sends it over to my Gmail account. My sent folder will have a copy. It gets sent to my client. My client responds. It comes into Gmail. It's a copy in the inbox. But I know you guys get a lot of email on a daily basis. You probably get a lot more in an hour than I get in a day. What happens if you've got a very important contract going out? You need to know. Top Producer is then going to take that email and put it onto your client record. So you don't have to search through the listings you're getting from the MLS, the messages you're getting from your other coworkers, the latest and greatest offer from some company that probably has never heard of you and doesn't know you, but thinks you're perfect for their latest project, which we all love those emails. You don't have to sort through them and delete them and get them. You just go to your contact. There it is. You want to make sure you've got that set up and working. And your signature, you can have it automatically attached to your account. Just do a quick creation of your signature and it's on there. It's ready to go. You don't have to worry about anything. You just have it auto sent.
If I could just add a quick thing about why it's really important to add your email integration here, is that you're sending out drip campaigns, or you might call them plans. We call them plans, but with those automated emails. So you can just attach them to multiple customers in here and that'll just get sent out. They don't see anything to do with Top Producer. They only see your email address, but you have those already available templates to use. And one of the greatest things when you send from Top Producer X is that you can see if they've read the email or not. So if you're sending out important information, you're like, okay, I need to make sure that the customer is getting this and reading it. You'll be able to see that in Top Producer X. So lots of great ways for using this, especially with those leads coming in directly from online or inquiries, lead inquiries, maybe. They will get that automated lead response rule, again, by using your email address. And as Glenn here is showing you, this is going to show you the red eye if they haven't seen it. The green eye means that they've opened it, and then it looks like a little download means that they've received it. Now, again, this is only going to be accurate though when you send using Top Producer X program. If you go into your Gmail account and send it from there, this cannot be guaranteed that it's accurate, whether they've read it or not. So good reasons. And you know what? Another thing too, come into one place to do everything. You come in to get your contacts information. You can see listings that you've shown them, which we'll get to in a little bit. You can see the emails that you have back and forth, texting that you have back and forth. There's all kinds of things you can see all in one platform versus going to different programs. So save you time.
Absolutely. And as Heather was mentioning on the tracking from within Top Producer X, you can see these three icons when you send from out of here. Now, you'll notice if I hover over the red eye, it says unopened or sent from third-party email client. I could still send the emails through my Gmail account and it'll go out and it will still show up here on my Top Producer X. As long as I don't delete it out of the inbox or the sent folder in Gmail, I'll see it here. So you don't, if you have a moment and you're writing up an email because you're in Google, don't worry, it's going to go to your client, but it's also going to be on the client record. So you'll always have that access there. Again, the caveat, as long as you don't delete it out of the inbox or sent folder.
And another quick little thing I'd like to add to about the emails, which I personally think is a neat idea, is that when you go to your customer's account, you have emails tab and you have email history. So instead of looking through one big inbox going, who's this email from? Okay, the email's from this client, so on and so on. You're in your contacts record and you see the emails right there in their record that you have back and forth with that individual. And so you're not getting spam and all that other stuff. You just go to that customer, there's your emails. Go to the next customer, there's your emails with that customer. So it just keeps everything really organized. And if you haven't been able to tell already, I am one of those people that I like to be organized. So getting you guys set up with this is great for me too.
Yeah, it's great. Heather, it's a great dichotomy between me and her. She's the organized one. I'm the chaos bringer. So she does all the organization. I thrive in chaos. So we're a good match back and forth. And we do find the best ways to do things that way.
He's more like Mr. Fix-It. He's like more of a problem solver and can definitely help out with all those tech issues. And I really want to make this pretty and get it easily organized for you because that's going to save you time. And it's a big thing with your job. Also, if you haven't noticed already, I am putting links and some little tad bits here in the chat. And we ask that you ask questions because this is your time right now. And you ask questions we can show you. So please hold it up.
So the next thing that I find very important now, one of the cool features of Top Producer is the fact that we have a really good connection to MLSs. So you want to connect your credentials here. So you'll come into the MLS credentials button, hit add MLS credentials. And if you just try to scroll through this, you're going to see how slowly that goes through. Let me think. CRMLS is, hey, CRMLS. I do that one a lot. If you type it wrong, it's going to tell you. But if you do it right, it'll ask you. Now, a lot of them are what we call rostered boards because they're using a much newer and much more streamlined connection, which gives us more data to work with. You just put in the agent MLS ID, and it'll allow you to have that information and bring the info in. What this allows, and I did see a question out of the corner of my eye that we will cover in a second, so bear with me for a second, Larry. This will allow population of your market snapshots. Also will allow you to have incoming information for your transactions. And another very, very cool feature we have called Property Insights.
Property Insights.
I knew you'd be happy when I said that one.
And if I could just quickly, not so much about the market snapshot, but even just let Larry know, even though if you don't have market snapshot, and it is a great feature, but if you don't, you can still add your MLS credentials and use other features. So if you haven't done that, definitely want to set this up.
Yeah, and market snapshot, if you no longer have it, I'm sorry to hear that you don't, because there's been a lot of changes to market snapshot. One of the things, and I've been with the company many years. I've been everything from a frontline tech to a senior tech. I do onboarding now, and as Heather says, I do a lot of fix-ups. But if you don't have it, you still want to do this setup because, like I say, bringing in your transactions and also bringing in your property insights. The reason for that is it's a one-way synchronization. The reason I say one way, in the past, if you made changes to your MLS information, you would have to go into your CRM and hit a button to say update or remove and re-add it and get the new information. The way it is now, if you update your MLS info and you have a transaction within Top Producer, when you log into Top Producer, it's going to double check and go, oh, there was changes on the MLS. Let me bring them over. We can't go from Top Producer to the MLS though. Unfortunately, they're not giving us that much access. They only give us so much, but it does allow you to have things set up that way. And we will show, because it is by far one of our favorite things to watch, which is the Property Insights. I always love to do a demo on that because it is very cool. So we will
demo that.
Yes, but I will jump over to Market Snapshot because one of the reasons the Market Snapshot is really cool to have is the fact that it is a auto-populating CRM or CMA, basically. So you're looking for comparables, you're looking for information on the market that goes out. One thing I do like to mention is in the past, there was a little bit of technical issues with the the snapshots going out because of the fact that it was going through servers that weren't always connecting as well. We do now send it directly through your email. So all the information goes out. Every snapshot will send out information for a client with this info here. And I do like to leave auto send market snapshot on because that means as soon as the next time comes up, it'll just send it for you. But every snapshot will always have for sale and newly listed on the snapshot. Then you can change this information. I don't often turn these off, but I did have somebody recently tell me that for a buyer, an expired withdrawn really isn't something that's important for them to see. I agreed, but at the same time, I do like to see expired and withdrawns because it does prove when you guys are telling your client who's trying to buy stuff, if you say this is overpriced, and they don't think so, you're actually going to have that information to back it up by saying, well, look, it just got pulled off the market because nobody bought and nobody was biting at the price. It helps to prove your experience. Sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to add there, if you turn any of this information off, then you don't actually get to see the market details, like the percentage of how long it's been on the market for, the percentage of the sale and that sort of thing. So looking at the market details is also very important. So it's a good thing to keep that on. One of my suggestions is really to go in, add yourself as a contact if you haven't already, and send yourself a market snapshot. That way you can kind of get in there and play around with it and see what it looks like and change it up to fit so you see how it feels and you like it, then start sending it out to your customers.
Absolutely. And then the one thing, reporting is always important for you folks to see what's going on with your investments. So every week we'll send you an email to let you know the summary of how the snapshots have gone. How many have gone out, who's been looking at them, who's looking at it the most, and information such as that. And like social media, everything has a little heart on it to say that you like it. Market Snapshot has a specific spot on the property that if the client clicks on that and goes, I like this, it'll come to you and you'll get a notification of that. You also get notified when they open it. The next thing, which is really cool, which I like to say is a secondary part of the software. So you're getting two parts in one. We all know that the MLS changes. Changes can happen daily. Heck, sometimes in the last few years, it was happening hourly. Yeah, I know.
Let's not go back there.
Yeah, let's not go there. But things change quickly, and you want to make sure your clients have the most up-to-date information. So with that, we have what we call our listing alerts. What this means is every day, and I do highly recommend to leave it on a summary once a day and not in real time, but every day, an update of what happened on the MLS will be sent over. What this means is anything within the criteria that you're sending a snapshot to your client for that has just been listed in that price range or category, had a price change into that category, or was just sold in those categories, they're going to get an email that night saying, hey, this is what's going on the market. You might actually have been having one client that's looking at a property they absolutely adored, but it was just outside their price range. You might all of a sudden get that notification that, hey, the owner is really motivated to sell now, so they've lowered the price. This gives them that chance to actually get in there, and they're going to see that. And because of the fact you're sending this information to you, your phone's going to ring and they're going to be like, hey, I see this in our price range. Can we take another look or make an offer?
Should we go ahead and create a demo so we can see?
You want to create a demo?
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. So we'll pretend I'm a buyer. How's that?
Okay, let me
And
find.
that way we can really see what the market snapshot looks like. We'll show you a little bit of, things about it. And then it's good education to take in. So that way when you're showing your customers.
I forgot to reset this back to factory. So notice the name of
Heather's my puppeteer.
Let me go here to all. I want to search it. So I want to search out Heather. So I just go up to the search up here. I know I have at least 3 or 4.
I'm in there a few times. So also another thing to keep in mind too about the market snapshot, if you have leads coming into your CRM, especially if you are set up with Social Connect, which we're going to briefly go over in a little bit as well. If you're set up with Social Connect, they're going to get an automated market snapshot based on the ad that they clicked on and that zip code. If you have other leads coming in, as long as they come in from a provider that we support, if they come in with a name and email address, again, a zip code, in order to get that market snapshot, they will get the automated market snapshot. So do you always have to set it up for your customers? Not always, but sometimes you do. And that's okay because you want to make the market snapshot work for that customer. It's not sending all your customers, here's what the market looks like. You're sending it to buyers based on what they're looking to buy. And not all buyers are the same. So, I don't want a condo. I would prefer a single home, quiet, not right in the city. So Glenn's searching for me right now, and he'll show you here in a second. And I have what I'm approved for. So this is what you're doing when you're setting up a market snapshot for your buyers. You're setting up what they're approved for and their credentials, which also show them the market. When you're setting up for your sellers, because yes, you can set up for both buyers and sellers, as your sellers, you're showing them what the market looks like for their location and their property. So it gives them an idea what they can sell their home for. You can say, this is what homes in your area are sold that are similar to yours. So this is what it's looking like that you can get for your home, and or how long those homes have sat on the market, why others are selling and theirs isn't, right? So this is what you want to use the market snapshot for. So Glenn set up here, he is creating a buyer one for myself. And yeah, so this is the stuff he sees on the back end here. He's going to target a zip code, but maybe I want a specific city. I know your zip codes cover a big area. It's Birch Bay. So we're going to go with Birch Bay, and we know because this is a market snapshot we have set up. So we're going to target that city. You have the option to target multiple zip codes, multiple cities, areas, or counties and subdivisions. Obviously, the more information you put in, the smaller your search criteria is going to be. So you have property types, residential. You can go to subtypes, which this is where you can add like those apartments, condominium. Yeah. So we'll keep condos out of there because I'm not a fan. But we'll just keep it single family residential. Exactly. Or you can add townhomes or whichever works for you. Styles, I mean, you can really get in there. Again, the more info you put in, the smaller your search is. So price, definitely want to put a price point in because people usually most people I would say have a limit and or whatever they're approved for, right? So maybe you want to put like right around their approval, or there you go. Kind of wish.
I'm just guessing that you could get approved for 900,000.
That's okay. We'll make it work.
Now,
all right. Perfect. And so again, you just fill all this information in, and I always suggest previewing it before you send it. So we're going to click on the preview like Glenn did, and we have 12 listings. Perfect. Of course, all of them are sold.
nope,
One active. You do want to keep the sold on there, even though you're sending to the buyer. And the reason why is because if you take those solds off, even though you're sending it to me as a buyer, I'm not going to see what the market looks like. It's going to say 0% sold because you just took all the solds off. So keep them on, and I'll show you a way that you can help your customers remove them from the search. So maybe 12 isn't quite enough, and you want to add to it, you can do that too, either by like upping the maximum number, adding another zip code in there for like a wider search criteria. Exactly. And then just again, preview it, see if that number has changed. Still 12, but you know what? We're going to be happy with that. Let's go ahead and send it.
Let's take out just the
Birch
city.
Bay?
Let's go in the area because there's
Okay.
not a lot of nice area there, and we should be able to get more. So we've gone up to 193 if I just take out Birch Bay itself.
So
Because this now will do the whole area of Birch Bay, Blaine, Washington. It should just cover those two areas. Now, here's the thing. As you notice, we went from 12 to 193 real quick. Somebody may say to you, I want to live here, but it may not be feasible. So you might be able to actually find them something that's more into what they want. Because yes, I know Heather wanted to live by the bay. She wanted to have that there. But unfortunately, it wasn't really that fully feasible. So if we expand it a bit, I might just find that house that she's going to go, you know, that's the cutest little house I've ever seen.
didn't
So
you
by
know I'm a little picky? But also keep in mind too that we're just doing this as a sample so we can show you what it looks like. But keep in mind, maybe sending 193 listings to a buyer for yourself might be a little extreme, and they might just say, you know what, forget it. I don't have time to look through this. But we're going to go past this. We're going to send the market snapshot right now so we can show you what this looks like. So once you've sent it, also another great feature is that you can see when your customers open the email and when they've been clicking on the reports. And so seeing their activity is going to give you kind of insight how interested they are. If they're not clicking it, plus make sure you let them know, like, hey, just wanted to give you a heads up. I sent you a market snapshot, shows you more listings in the neighborhood. So, and then check their activity and see how it goes.
And as Heather said, that was 193 properties. That would be overwhelming. However, we have made it so that we only take the top 100 and send them to them. Now, that's still a lot of properties, but we do that there because we want to give a good overview. Now, let me see.
Just refresh or click out of it and click back in, and you'll see the market snapshot there populate. Yeah, so go back to market snapshot,
There we
and there
go.
it is. So that's, and right now, well, I haven't opened my email yet. So you're going to see that I have 0 clicks. This is what you don't want to see because it's showing that your customer hasn't even looked at it yet. And you want to see these numbers increasing. So get in touch with your contacts, make sure they're opening it, make sure they're clicking. But we want to see what the customer sees on the other side. That's the more exciting part, obviously. So we're going to view the report, and then, yeah, exactly, view the report here. And this is what your customer sees. Please also let us know if we're going too fast. We can slow it down, let us know. And we have tons of resources available. So here, what Glenn is showing, this is the market detail part we're discussing. And taking those solds out is going to not, it will reflect this and it won't be accurate. So you definitely want to keep this on. So you see your map of the zip code that you chose, all the homes that are for sale and or pending, sold and whatnot. So I want to show you a neat little trick because you're sending this to a buyer, right? And there's 58 sold properties, 17 pending. But that's kind of a pain having to scroll through all of them. So Glenn, if I could just get you to go ahead and click on the sold in red, click on the pending in orange, and now they're not in and they expired. And now it's only showing my new for sale and my for sale that I get to scroll through. Makes it so much easier. Oh, that's a cute greenhouse up there.
This one?
Well, that one's not too bad either, but there you go. Go ahead. Let's just click on one of these ones for sale.
Let's go. You said this was a cute house, so we'll click on that. Heather likes to do a lot of window shopping.
I'm a looky-loo, so don't try and sell to me. And plus I'm looking in France, so I'll be looking for longer than I want to.
So the advantage of this is we're pulling this data directly from the MLS. So this is all the images that have been put up on the MLS for this property. So you can see that's the type of deck I want out in front. I want to have that. And look at this beautiful.
I was going to say rip out the carpet. No.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, ripping out the carpet would be good. But you know, you've got things like a beautiful fireplace like that. And it's just all the information. Hey?
I said update the tiles.
See, this is why you don't want to try to sell to Heather. She is picky.
But I have taken my interior design, so I know what can be done. I can look past those things. So property details you can click on will show you at the very top here exactly. It'll pull all that information from the MLS. Yeah, you have that little, do you like this? Give it a heart. And when your customers do this, you're going to get notified that, you know, Bob or Sue or whoever clicked on here said, hey, they like this address, and it'll send you that email. Does it send in a text or it's an email, right?
Sends an email, yeah.
Okay.
So once you're here, now let's go back. So we've looked at that one, but there's a couple of things that I'd like to bring attention to that are going to help you out a great deal. Right off the bat, your branding, your color, your logo, and your photo are along the top. And it looks kind of funny that Heather and Glenn, top producer, sent a snapshot to Heather, but there's more than one Heather. You're not the only Heather. I'm sorry. But you're the, you can see it here, but then also at the bottom, see how I had changed the address to say Surrey, BC when I had it as Bellingham or Blaine, Washington? I've changed that info. I have the phone numbers here. I have the best email, a link to my website. Down here where I don't have anything, and let me just highlight that with my handy dandy drawing tools, we will have the links for your specific socials.
Where it's empty on ours, but yeah.
Yeah. Remind me to create a social just to put there later. Add that to my list of things that I need to do that I haven't done. But you'll see that. And you also see the licenses there. So everything is in one place. And this is just a tool that right now it's going to say all this information. It's going to have this 100 properties. I can put all 100 back so you can see the different way that it's organized. It doesn't just go sold here, new listing here, pending. It mixes them in so you can see a scope of what's going on in the market.
And then the market details, you can click right on them and get more details about the market as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is a neat tool to have if you're using it properly and you're educating your customers. Don't worry about the ones you're sending it to that are not opening it. Worry about the customers that you're currently working with. Get them clicking so you can see their activity and see what they like. It can be a great tool if you're using it properly.
Yeah. So we're going to jump back over into here. So we've sent that. Now, another cool tool that involves the markets or the MLS is the property insights.
This is one of my favorites.
Yeah. So this is another reason why you want to have the MLS connected. Let's say Heather came to me and said, I really like one house, and I'm going to put it in by address here at 5787. And you're going to notice if I stop typing, it actually finds it because it's searching the MLS as we go. I can pull this up and it's going to bring the info directly from the MLS with the most up-to-date price. It will have inquired on, but you can change this to items. So let's say she's interested in. I can now save this property insight. Now you have one of the comparables or one of the I want from your client right on your page ready for you. So you don't have to go out and go to the MLS and pull all of them and print them all off in one place. You have this. And here's the benefit. I love to say it this way. Top Producer X is mobile responsive. What this means is this will work on your cell phone. It'll work on your tablet, your laptop, your big screen computer, a movie screen. It responds to the size of the screen. Forgive the terminology here, but it will also adjust depending on the real estate you have on said screen. Such a versatile word, but I do have to use it in that way. But this way you can see it. And now she's shown interest in this place, so we can book a showing. Then you can just change it over to shown. All of a sudden, everybody's happy. You want to make an offer. You click on made offer, we can create a transaction. And it takes it directly into creating the transaction without you having to re-import all the information. You just choose the type of home it is, put in the sale price number. Let's say, just because it's $679, we'll say $675. Heather was a shrewd businesswoman and got 4,000 off. Percentage, I'm going to put 3 in here. And then we just add transaction. And now we have this transaction in here. She's my primary buyer. I'm her buyer's agent. If I click on her name again, there's the transaction. She tries to do a lot of buying. She's into that whole buying things. But they're all
tons of money just sitting around.
I know, it's amazing she works with us because she's just so rolling in it.
If we could go back to property insights, because I want to show one of my favorite little, it's such a small feature, but it's so easy to be done. So, and the reason I like to show this is, for example, every agent I've spoke to, I said, how do you keep a list of all your properties that you've shown your customers? And sometimes people shrug, or they're like, oh, that's a good question. Somewhere in my phone, I don't know, I might have print offs of it. You know what? Like, if I'm your customer and I come back to you a week later and be like, what was that property I looked at like a week ago, or whatever the case may be? You don't want to shrug them off, or you don't want to be like, yeah, that's a good question. Hang on. Like, this should be right here for you. Oh yeah, it was this house. And let's see what you liked or didn't like about it. So you're going to go to your notes, your little notepad, right where your home is. There you go. Write what your customer liked and didn't like about this property. She loved the garden or the driveway. Driveway's big. Yeah. It's a car. Oh, patio. What do you call those? Patio parties? Or yes, lots of other things you can make use of that driveway.
A great crafting area for your
I know, I love craft or refurbishing, so I would be getting paint all over the place. So we got the note here. It's under your property insights, but if you click on your notes, you'll see it right there too. If you click on your dashboard, you'll see it right there too. So again, it just kind of keeps everything like tied together nicely. That's one of my favorite parts about it.
Yeah, so those are some of the key parts you want to make sure you have set up. Now, a couple of other things that are really cool to have would be your lead providers. Again, I'm not a fan of the term lead. Oh, I'm sorry, market snapshot. One last thing, turn the auto fulfillment on. This means anytime you get a new inquiry or lead, they'll automatically get the snapshot like Heather was saying before. But let's go in here. If you get some from, say, Realtor.com, Zillow, Trulia, even your own website, every top producer has this email address built into it. You have one individualized. So this is the one for my top producer, and it's usually based on the username for the account. Put that into the lead forwarding section of your lead providers, and you will get this. It's like where your emails come from, where you get an email from them saying, you have this new lead. If you have that there, you will start getting more leads sent in or inquiries. I'm getting it so I always say inquiries. People inquiring about property or property services. It'll automatically come into your top producer. And then when you enable this, and this is a Canadian account because Heather and I are both Canadian. On the Canadian ones, we just have the ability to have a lead alert via an email. If you have an American account or down in the US, you will also have the option to have a text message sent to you. Now that reminds me that I do need to try to make a test account that is based in the US so that I can show off texting, but that's another thing to add to my list. But these are great ways to get all your information in one spot. These settings are very important and very helpful. Another really cool one, I mentioned this before. Let's say you've got a calendar that you have on your cell phone. Right here, I've connected my calendar to my cell phone or to my Gmail account. This Gmail account is also connected to myself. So any calendar appointments I have on my Gmail account and also in Top Producer are now going to be all linked together. So whatever appointments I put into Top Producer, it will tell me if I'm going to double up on another appointment or if I have an appointment at the time I'm looking. That way you're not going to have any conflicting scheduled appointments. It's best to do it that way just so you don't, unfortunately, miss out on something. Last thing you want to do is miss somebody. I will say another one that's useful is called our contact sync. You will notice I don't have one set up. There is a reason. We also have the ability to import contacts directly into the software using what's known as a CSV file. I always refer to this import as what I call a blunt brute force import, meaning it just looks at everything and puts it in the account. Therefore, if you already have a name in there and you use this, you're going to have it in twice. With this in mind, you want to do this before you do a contact sync because the contact sync actually has a very good duplicate checker. The reason for this, when you're connecting a contact sync like this, you know that you have these people in, say, your Gmail account, your phone or anything like that, and you want to have them in your CRM as well. Whereas an import, you've got a database and you just want to get all of them in. The contact sync does a duplicate check just to make sure that you don't end up having, like, let's say I did an import and I had Heather's name on there, but I didn't have her in my Gmail account. If I do the contact sync to my Gmail account, it will compare the two lists. On the Gmail side, it'll create Heather. But let's say that I have somebody in Gmail that I don't have in Top Producer. When it's going through that, it'll bring them over. So it's always a good idea to make sure you have your contacts that are coming from a CSV uploaded and then do the contact sync. Anything to add to that, Heather?
No, I think we've covered everything there is to do in the settings. Try and get a few other things mentioned. We did go over market snapshot as well. So let's just have a quick look at the slideshow, make sure that we're not missing anything. Tasks, yeah. So there's a lot of information that we can go over. Let's just, and we might just have to wait until our next webinar in a couple of weeks, but let's quickly go over to Social Connect.
Okay, so Social Connect this is a pretty cool thing, and I'm gonna jump over here and go over to
That we
the,
covered. Yeah.
so our new features and how they can benefit you.
Mhm.
Social Connect. So you've heard me use the term inquiries. You've also heard me mention places like Realtor.com, Zillow, and whatnot. There is another well, up until recently, semi-untapped market. A lot of people are actually using Metaverse or Facebook and Instagram to try to find out about housing. I use the term housing instead of to buy or sell or to rent or anything like that, because on the metaverse, everything to do with properties, be it buy, sell, rent, lease, or even just looking at specific land to purchase. If they look for it through there, it all goes under the category of housing. Now, I know I've spoken to a lot of agents over the years, and they all wondered how to get a benefit from working with those social media platforms. I've also heard how much of a nightmare it is to deal with the actual ads. So forgive us if we kind of sound salesy. It's not what we do, but how would you like it to have those ads, but you only have to benefit from the incoming inquiries? Top Producer, for the first time in our 40-year history, is offering air quote leads. I still think that word has been diluted, but we're putting out all the ads for you. We're doing all the back end work, the hard stuff. All you have to do is pick 5 cities that you want to work with. And it is best to pick the ones that you're working in and have some sold or some active listings in. But you put them up. We will generate the leads. Wow, let me try that again. We will generate the ads. Heather's laughing at me. I can see her video there. Thanks, Heather.
So,
We'll
and I'm, oh, sorry, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, we can also, like, even if you've already purchased Social Connect, this is a great time to ask us any questions about your inquiring leads that are coming in, and the best use of using this program. So whether you have Social Connect now or not, if something you're interested, definitely let us know, and we would love to help you out with that. And if you do have Social Connect already and you have questions about it, maybe some talking points if you're having a hard time figuring out who to reach out to, how and when, like, ask us. These are things that we would definitely want to help you out with. Even though there is that automated lead response rule that they're getting emailed, market snapshot and everything right away. If you have this program, you want to sit back and wait for someone to reach out to you, by all means, that is totally up to you. I do highly suggest that you call them and reach out to them. Because these are people, like, a call is likely you're going to get a hold of them much quicker. Now, please remember, these people also are lead inquiries. So they can be anyone looking at these ads. People like me that are looky-loos. They could be sellers, they could be buyers, they could be just browsing. They might be more interested in renting. And you as a realtor are now going to convert these people into a buyer and or a seller. And by doing that, you're going to give them the benefits of real estate, of owning their own place, and hopefully make that person an actual working client. So there's different packages available. You can start at the lower one, which is only $250 a month. Lead programs can go up to the thousands. So it's not a bad deal. And these bring people right into your CRM. That doesn't mean that, okay, I get this person today and they're going to want to buy a house right now today. They might just say, yeah, I'm still browsing, but I'm actually planning on selling my house, and it's probably going to be about 6 months from now. Put them as a callback and say, you know what, I'd still like to keep in touch with you and work with you when you're ready in 6 months. So it can always work out to be a client down the road as well. With that being said too, you also have access to it on your cell phone. So we want to show everyone, if they haven't already, information on her. Oh, thank you for adding that. I'm talking about it and I forgot to say, and this is like what it looks like. It is actually really neat. So how it works, kind of like in a short form, is that you get to pick up to 5 cities. It targets the people that live in those cities that see your ads. it also targets people that are already looking at the market. So by an algorithm, just like if you're on Facebook and you're, maybe you search travel or food or shoot, whatever it is, 5 minutes later, you start seeing ads for what you were searching. That's exactly how this works. So it's targeting people that have been looking at the market in those cities to start seeing your ads. Don't think about it as a listing. Don't worry about the ad that they clicked on. It's just an ad. They click on it. They have to click. I believe we went over this like 3 to 4 times. Like click, like, yes, learn more. And then their information will pop up and they'll say, yes, send me more information. And then that's when they come into your CRM as a potential lead or an inquiring lead. But this is kind of like what the ad looks like. So it's pretty neat. And here we have it. Add it to your cell phone.
Yeah.
Top Social Connect is a part of, if you have it, or if you don't have it and want it, it is a part of your Top Producer CRM, which you can add to your cell phone. So we love this because you're always on the go. And when you're out with that client, instead of you having to wait to get back to the office to put that information in, put it in while you're on the go. So get out your cell phone right now, if you haven't already added it, and go to your web browser. So if you're using, I guess you can use any browser. I typically use Google or Chrome with my Android. I know a lot of people use Safari with their Apple phones if they have that. So if you have a Android, you're just going to go to your browser, type in crm.topproducer.com. If you have an Apple, you're going to go to your web browser, which is likely Safari. Type in crm.topproducer.com is both the same. And when you go to save, so on an Android, which you're going to see looks kind of like mine because I believe I took a screenshot, of my phone. So in the top right corner on this picture, you're going to see the 3 little dots. So if you're using Android, you'll see the 3 little dots, and near the bottom, it'll say add to home screen. And if you're using an Apple, you'll see at the very bottom of your page, it looks like a little square with an arrow pointing up out of it. And if you click on there, that will give you the option to add to your home screen as well. So once you have that added, it's just a quick click and you're in.
Yep. Simple, easy. And I've just added a link in our chat there to a video showing you how to do it for both products. Wow. English hard.
Thank you, Glenn.
No problem. And then let's see what's next. Okay, so this has gone to the resources, but I actually kind of want to jump over here, and I'm going to show you. If I take this and shrink it down, shrink it over this way, move it around like this, this is sort of how it's going to look on your mobile device. So if I go to my all, here's all my contacts. I want to see my calendar. I just click on calendar down on the bottom. You'll see I can choose either all my agents or just myself or a specific agent. I can see my tasks. I can see my transactions and how I'm doing. And then I can see the full menu of everything. Now this should take me to settings, but it could be taking a minute because, again, abused Top Producer. So we're just gonna, yep, there we go. Takes me to all the things I need. And there's my settings. And I can take a look at my information on my settings right there with the different tabs across the top.
You can go to the property insights that we were doing and make your notes right while you're on the go.
Exactly. So we have mentioned we do have a lot of extra cool options that'll help you out. We do have a support site, https://support.topproducer.com. This is a place where you can go and you can get questions and answers to all of the information you're looking for. We do have a schedule and a link to our recordings. And the recording of this video will be up later today. I will make a note of that and make sure it's there. But we do have a full YouTube channel with a lot of different videos that you can check out. But if you go into, and I'm just going to bring it over. I'll bring a new window over. So let's go up to here. We have our support.topproducer.com. Here's where you can find all the information you need. Getting started, how-to guides, webinars, library, and again, the chat with our team.
I'm also adding all these links in the chat for you. As we are kind of getting near the end of today's webinar, now's a chance if you have any questions, please let us know. and we're just showing you the extra resources you have available. We are going to be doing this webinar every other Wednesday, which is available in the calendar. And again, we have the one-on-one too. So you're never going to be on your own on how to use the system. But I always say to my agents, it doesn't matter how many times you meet with us. If you're not using the program, you're not going to learn it. You have to use it. So, and then you're going to become a pro. Maybe you'll be teaching us one day.
Yeah. Couple of places otherwise that you can go to get more info. We do have a blog at topproducer.com/blog, which we do put up a lot of the most recent updates to the software, information that's going on in the real estate industry, and even just some cool information that we get from other agents who have gotten really good use out of the software. As I mentioned, we do have a YouTube page at youtube.com/topproducersoftware. And yes, we also have social media. Right now we have facebook.com/groups/topproducersoftware. If you ask questions on that page, it is answered by real top producer employees. So you're always getting people with us. And again, our customer care team via live chat or email is always going to be there to help you. And our concierge onboarding, that if I click on this link, it's going to take you to the page, which will show you all the different plans we have and how we can help you out and get you looked after. So give that a look, and hopefully we'll have something there that might work for you. And that's a wrap. I like that.
And that's wrap. We're done for today.
So thank you for joining us for our inaugural webinar about this account, or this new type of doing one. If you have any insights or suggestions, please let us know. We're always happy to improve, and hopefully we've been able to help you out. I know that's a little bit over an hour. We need to trim down that market snapshot presentation a bit. Yes, I forgot to get him over here. I didn't get the setup, Candace. I'm sorry, but yeah. There you go. That's better than seeing me, isn't it? Much better.
He can just do the webinars from now on. So we'll be back again in a couple weeks. Sounds a little strange to say that because we were doing it weekly. If you have already had onboarding, you can do it again. You can have one session. Yeah, so we have lots of ways to help you out. Just let us know what we can do.
Yeah. So have a great day. Thanks for coming back, Candace. I appreciate you coming to see us again. I hope it was good. Hope it was fun like last week. It was a little bit less just you and us, but we do appreciate people coming back, and we do appreciate anybody coming to see our webinars. Hopefully we'll see you again at the next one. And again, we're still going to be working this to make it look the best and most informative for all of you. So with that in mind, you have an amazing day. I'm glad I was able to bring Grogu over for you. But from Heather and I, have a great rest of your week and a great rest of your day. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.